Hey guys, TutorialRide here. I'm gonna do another tutorial because I'm bored. Today we're gonna be doing Kamen Rider Drive's face, which is arguably the most. No, it is the most detailed main rider face for Heisei, which can get kind of difficult. I can see how, but I'm gonna show you an easy way of how to do it. Hopefully, if I explain it right. And yeah, so why don't we go ahead and get started? I'm gonna do we'll be doing a front shot and a side shot just like we did for Ghost. If you haven't seen that video, go to the description below. That is not an even line, so I'm just gonna do that again. There's stuff up there. I'm very picky. I'm gonna do it. There we go. I'm so sorry for all this flipping. I also fixed the focus, so it shouldn't be focusing constantly like it did in the last video, hopefully. So that's the thing. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, we're gonna be doing a front shot and a side shot, just like for Ghost. So, I'm just gonna draw those two lines to show where the head is going to be. Now we're just gonna zoom in a little bit. Just a little bit. Is it focused? Yeah, it is focused. So, why don't we go ahead and get started. I have type speed here, just because. It's not gonna be on camera, so I don't know why that was even relevant, but anywho, there is lines there. I'm sorry for all the interruptions. Okay, there we go. So we're going to do a rough outline of the face, which is just like a normal human face, of course. It's pretty much going to be the starting point for all of these. It's just doing the human face because, you know, it's a face. There's a face in there. There's a face behind that mask. There's a face behind that masked rider. Ooh. I don't know what that was. We're going to draw a line right to the middle to show that that's the middle or the center of the head right there. And from here, we're going to go down to the middle and we're going to draw two lines, two horizontal lines. So one right here and one right here. The distance doesn't really matter too much as long as it's not too long. As long as it's like this length, then you should be good. So from here on, we're going to draw two lines extending outward from the top line. And those are going to fit as his eyes. So we're going to go up here and stop just about here. So not quite to the edge of the face, but close enough to where there's a gap in between. So we're going to do that on both sides. Mine's not really that even. I'm not great at getting even lines, but I think it works well for what we're going to be doing. Okay, yeah, so now we're going to extend two more lines outward, just like this. Again, the distance doesn't really matter too much as long as it's not too long. These are going to be pretty short. And on both sides, we're also going to dip down just like that. And Drive's eyes, actually, hold on, I'm going to lower my line, my second line from the center down just a little bit. Just like that. So yeah, these lines are going to extend out a little bit, and they actually kind of remind me of Sonic's eyes if you see him. Sonic the Hedgehog. They go up, they go down, they go back around. Just like that. So if you can remember that, then you're pretty much good to go. And on both sides, we're also going to extend out again. Drive's face is very angular. We're going to extend out to the sides of the head. And those are going to be like the ending points for the red part of his helmet. Down below, of course, is the engine parts for the car. So up here we're going to do some more pointy sort of lines. Not too pointy, but they're kind of sharp. Looking from the front, at least, then they're pretty sharp. And right about here. So just a little bit above the eye on both sides. And then we're just going to, I'm going to do this very lightly because we're not going to do any dark lines yet because we obviously have the spoilers coming out from both sides. So yeah, we're going to just lightly draw above the head, the structure above the head, just like that. Okay. Okay, I'm back. You probably saw there was a little cut there. I didn't make a diagram before this video started. So I didn't know where to go on from there, but I think I know what I'm going to do now. I actually fixed up some of the lines. I raised my line up from the right eye right here because it just sort of bothered me a little bit. So from here, we're going to start from right here, this line up, and we're going to extend outward just like that. And it's going to curve just a little bit because the black line, the black stripe that goes up here extends across the helmet. So it'll curve up going to the back of the helmet. And this is on both sides. This is right before the spoiler, or right in front of the spoiler, or behind, depending on your perspective. Just like that on both sides. And the spoiler is always going to be on the outside. So, what we're going to do, since we have those there, actually we can darken these a little bit, because they're not really going anywhere. So let's go ahead and darken those. And then the spoiler is usually right at the edge of that. So we're going to curve up a little bit and then curve again. Now the spoiler extends backwards, so it's going to curve just a little bit to show that it is behind. It's going behind the head, and that's going to be on both sides. Just like that. Going to curve up. So they're very identical. They're actually literally the same. I don't know why I said identical. They're literally the same. Okay. And once we have that, we can pretty much just color in the rest of the head. Right now, without the back piece, it kind of looks like a, I don't know, it looks kind of weird. Like a weird deer or something. I don't know. So right now I'm just darkening the rest of the lines because that's just how I do. I flip-flop a lot when it comes to drawing things, so. Alright, so now we can see drivers coming into view. So just like that, we're going to darken these. And now the back piece is, it's kind of like a little strip, but it does have a few curves in it. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to take it from the very top of each spoiler, or each part of the spoiler rather, just one spoiler, and do that, and do another thinner line, and it'll go behind the helmet so some of it isn't seen, and it'll end just like that on the side. But boom, there we have Drive's top part of the helmet. We're going to get to the other details after the machine part, because that's just how I roll. There we go. Now here comes the hard part. It's actually not that hard once you look at the face and realize where everything is. It's very easy, and you can actually sort of get away with putting whatever you want there, and no one will really notice because it's a machine. So what I usually do is first we're going to take from the very middle. We're going to connect those lines that we drew earlier and draw little lines in the middle. Just like that. That's going to be like the nose piece right there. And we're going to sort of curve both eyes into that bottom piece. Just like that. Now, when I said you can put whatever you want and people wouldn't really notice, there are things that Drive's mask does have that tell you that that's Drive's mask. One of them, for instance, is the mouthpiece, which right here we're going to extend on both sides, not too far off, and then it's going to come down together, just like this. Just like that. And then it also has a line going through the middle and little bolts on both sides of the line. Just like that. There's also a little, I'm not sure what this is, but it's on both bottoms of the eyes. It's like a little, I don't know how to explain it, but you'll see it on the mask. I might put a picture up. If I remember, I can put a picture up. But if you ever look at Drive's mask, look at the bottom of the eyes and you'll see these. I'm not sure what they are, but they're there, so let's just go with it. Another thing is on both sides of his face, he has these pipes connecting right down to the bottom of each side here. So we're going to add those. So they're just going to come around and come to the bottom, and they're going to stop here. So we're just going to draw the full pipe just like that. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, and they come from the very side of his face. So we're going to come around and stop there. They also have this blue end connector right there. So if you want to draw that there, you can as well. Another thing that sort of seals the deal, wow, is, I'm not sure what these are either, but they're little, like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm really sorry. I don't know how to explain them. But they're little things, and they have lines on them. That's pretty much every drawing. They're little things that have little lines on them. Just like that. So if you put that there, then, you know, that sort of, it takes up more space, and you can already recognize, oh, that's what it looks like. That was probably the vaguest thing I've ever said in one of these tutorials. Oh my god. Okay, so as you can see, there's still some space left for stuff. What I usually do, I just usually add bolts, like little bolts, to fill in those spots, and no one will be any the wiser. Just like that. A lot of the time I also add a little bolt on the side of his face, just like this. On the sides of both faces. Or the both sides of the face, there we go. Can't talk today. Ooh. Just like that. And you can sort of fill in the rest of the bottom, the head, just like that. There we go. I hope the camera wasn't up too high when I was doing these. I apologize if it was, and I'll see what I can do about it. So we're pretty much done with the basis of the face. Now we just need to get the other details. Oh, hold on one second. Okay. So now we just need the stripes going up, and we also need the emblem. So I'm just gonna do a quick showing of what the emblem looks like. So I'm just gonna draw a circle, just like this. I'm gonna sketch out a little circle. Drive's emblem is just an R, so we're just gonna go up. It's gonna go like that. It's literally an R, and then you take from the bottom again, and you fill in the inside of the R, just like that. And from here, it sort of wraps around the circle. Both sides wrap around the circle, just like that, and then you fill it in. So that's pretty much what we're going to be doing here, but smaller, because, you know, I drew this small, or I drew it small. I'm not sure how big you guys drew it, if you are following along, so it's not going to be perfect. I'm just going to do it as small as I can. That was good enough. There we go. Let's see here. What else do we need? Oh, we also need the stripe. So we're going to take from both sides of the emblem. We're going to extend upward, just like that. And he also has a black stripe right through the middle. So let's do that. And the stripe carries on onto the spoiler. So I'm afraid to put those there too. And we are pretty much done for the face. Oh, actually, no, we're not. The eyes. I don't usually add these as much, but he does have headlights, so sometimes I do draw light lines for the headlights, extending outward. I don't always do the vertical lines like this, but you can do that. Sometimes it just looks weird to me on a drawing. I'm not sure why, but there you go. So now I'm just going to go ahead and do some quick shading, or some quick coloring in of the dark areas of the face. For instance, the black line going upward from the middle, the stripes on both sides of the eyes, or on the top of both sides of the eyes. I'm just going to darken some of these lines on the outline, just like this. Just going to outline. I don't always color in, like when I'm sketching Drive, I don't always color in the bottom half, but you can if you so please. And there we go. That's pretty much it for the front shot. Get to erase those sketch lines from there. That doesn't really matter. And yeah, there is the front side. So why don't we go ahead and go over to the side shot. Okay, now on to the side shot. I'm using a blank sheet of paper to cover up the previous drawing because since I'm left-handed, it'll smear if I lay my hand on it. So this is just a way of protecting what was previously done so it doesn't get destroyed. Right now I am just drawing the outline for the head, for the side, just like that. That should be good enough. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and get started. So right now I'm just going to start from right here. So not too far off from the front of the head. And we're going to extend upward in sort of a diagonal fashion. And we're also going to curve up because this is going to be the side of the eye. And of course it's going to go downward towards the middle. And the red part is sort of elevated from the middle. It's elevated, so I'm just going to show that right there. And now we're just going to bend upward just a little bit. I'm just going to curve it up just like that. And we're going to draw the middle, which is of course that little nose piece bar, just like that. And we'll draw that there. The mouthpiece is also going to be there, so why don't we go ahead and do that. And the mouthpiece is kind of flat actually. So we're just going to show it going down and curving back up, just like that. Now those pieces that I didn't know the name of are also going to be there too. So we can draw little connectors there. Okay. Now the red piece, which had ended right there, is actually going to curve upwards. Like that. And it's going to connect up like this. Goes up. The spoiler is going to connect right at the eye, or it's going to seem like it's going to connect right at the eye. It's going to go backwards and extend up here, and then it's going to come right here. It's going to come down just about here. Now I don't usually drive from the side, so if this comes out looking a little bit wonky, my apologies. And we're going to bring the head up just a bit more, just like that. Drive has lights, his backlights on the back of his helmet, so we can just draw a little bit of that there. You're not really going to see him, of course, because it's the side of his head, but we're going to at least identify that they're there. Just going to darken these lines a little bit. And so, since we have that, we can sort of darken these lines up here. I might actually do this as one video, because this hasn't been turning out as long. I don't believe it. Actually, I don't know. I might do it as one video. Why not? And then we're going to do the black stripes, which extend just about here. Like that. Again, I'm going to darken some of these lines. Okay, and the pipes line up Drive's side of the helmet pretty well, and they take up quite a bit of space. So we're just going to draw some pipes here, and there are two that connect right up here to the very end of the red section of his helmet, just like that. And there's one that comes from the back. This is the one that we drew on the front shot that connected to the mouthpiece. So we're just going to put that there. And draw that connecting into his mouth. Pipe right in the mouth. Just like that. those little fan things. I don't know cars, so if that's an actual thing, I don't know what it is. But we did that in the front shot. Is there as well. He also has a bunch of bolts and screws lining up the sides, so you can just draw those however you feel. So just do some random stuff. It's not going to be 100% accurate because that is, he has a very detailed head, so of course it's not going to be accurate 100%. It's not going to be accurate. Ooh. I don't know what that was. And so we're just going to connect the bottom of the head. Just like that. Again, I'm going to add some random bolts and whatnot. His neck. I'm also going to acknowledge that the back spoiler is there too. The one on the left side of the head. I'm just going to put that there. Shade it in a little bit. That's about it. So I'm just going to add those headlights right there. I'm going to shade in the rest. Erase the sketch lines really quick. Alright. There we go. And I'm just going to shade it in a little bit. And we are pretty much done, actually. That didn't take as long as I expected it to. And this actually took shorter of a time than Ghost did. And Ghost Mask is pretty simple, actually. That's kind of surprising. Wow. I'm actually kind of stunned. Wow. And there we go. I gave him sort of a beefy neck on the right one. Whoops. That's fine. I didn't give him a neck at all in this one. What the heck? There we go. You don't want to be a no-neck drive. How are you going to drive if you don't have a neck? Pretty easy, actually. I mean, all you need is your foot and your hands. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. And so there we go. We are done with Drive. Drive's head, for the most part. Hopefully that was kind of easy. I try to make it as easy as possible. Because, once you learn the structure of his face and what different parts are noticeable and there all the time and visible, then you pretty much have it down pat. So yeah, tell me what you guys thought of this tutorial and the previous one in the comments below, and what you would like to see me tackle next, and we'll be sure to do it. I post most of my art. Actually, I post almost all my art on Twitter. So if you want to follow me there, then you can. I also have a Tumblr, which I don't actually really use anymore because I just haven't been as interested in Tumblr as much anymore. But it's there if you want. I have an Ask.fm. You can ask me questions, ask me anything. But you can also do that on Twitter. I also have a Redbubble where I'm selling some of my art as shirts and phone cases and some other stuff. So if you want to check that out too, it's in the bottom of the description. Or it's in the description, not the bottom. I mean, it is in the bottom. Anyways, so yeah, that's about it. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Beep, beep. 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 Oh, okay. Whoop.